Okay, Mr. President, we are here with you. Um, as the leader of SAFA, how important is it for our coaches to get educated? Because I heard you speak about the stats of the number of coaches who've done their badges, and a field that has been missing in that regard has been the goalkeeping department. And now a lot of goalkeepers are doing their badges and they are educating themselves, because we've also seen a coach like Xoli joining the under-17s. So how important is that for SAFA and for education as a whole?
No, two issues there. First of all, when I started as president of SAFA, I found that our fundamental problem is that we don't have qualified coaches. And we don't have enough coaches. When you look at South African football, you have one coach for almost 200 kids. You go to the village, there's only one coach, all the kids are there. It's not possible. It's not possible for one. And that coach does not have any qualifications. He just played a little football and he's a coach. So we said no. If you look at winning the World Cup, Germany and Spain, let's look at them as an example. There they have a ratio of one coach for every 20 players. And that coach has a top qualification, an A license or a professional license. So we must still get to a point where at junior level we have coaches with A license and pro license, coaching juniors. That's where you start. So we said we have to focus on the training of coaches. At least now we're in a position where we can say for PSL clubs, you must have an A license. For NFD, an A or a B license. And so that you begin to put a structure in place based on the qualification and based on the knowledge of the coach. Otherwise, the coach is just a coach because he played, and then he wants his team to play the way he played, because that's all he knows. And as you train the coaches and you listen to them, you could see that they begin to understand. In modern football, qualification matters. And you can see, if you look at our under-20 team, they decided to defend almost the whole second half. There were 2 goals, 2-0 up half-time. Second half, they went in a defensive mode. And the defense was organized. They were never exposed, not a single one. But on their counter-attack, they scored a 3rd goal, but they went to VAR, and the VAR took about 8 minutes, and then they rolled the goal offside. But that is the ability of a team to absorb the pressure and to still maintain their shape and to defend their victory. And they became worthy champions from COSAFA. That is an important issue. I know people talk a lot of nonsense, there's nothing happening, but I don't know where they're looking. Because if they look at our school's program, the under 15 girls are the champions of Africa. They beat Morocco there in Zanzibar. I want to see how they're going to now perform in Namibia, where we have both under 15 and under 17 teams, school teams going there.
President, if I can just step in here. Just a few days ago, the sport minister had indicated that there were talks that were held with SAFA and the PSL regarding VAR, and that the conversation was centered around how we were getting close to reaching that stage. Can you confirm if that is indeed true, and what do we exactly mean by we are now getting close?
VAR needs a few things. First, you have to train people to be VAR adjudicators or referees. They sit there. There's a specific training that you must go through. So we started by training people on board. Then the second thing is you have to get the stadiums where the matches are played to have the installation for VAR. And then
From a journalism point of view, a lot of changes have taken place at SAFA, especially in the technical side of things with the likes of Coach Udaga, Coach Hugo Bruce, now Coach Modi. And how important is that in your opinion? Because, a lot has been said that, all these divisions have not been participating in these important tournaments. And a lot of these changes, come with experience because Coach Modi played, and they also now added Coach Thabo Mnyamane, who's going to be overseeing, other aspects of the game. How important has that been for South Africa? Because we've seen them partake in many tournaments and do well as well.
I think it's twofold in terms of this one because with coaching, you do want to see a certain level of consistency. You'd like to see a coach that is coming up the ranks with a team. When I think of the likes of Simpiwe Lulu, who was able to coach the national team side in the under-17s, you would hope that someone like that would be going up to the under-20s and, of course, the senior national team. But when we can't have that ideal situation, I think it's always good to inject that fresh blood, fresh ideas, and especially because coaches now are getting their licenses. They're getting educated and being exposed to different tournaments. But ideally, on my end, it would have been great to see a coach who had started with an initial crop of players see them through to the senior ranks. And it's something that we don't necessarily see, especially with SAFA. But what do you think maybe it trickles down to, the fact that we don't have the coaches going with their crop of players?
it's, you see it all over. You see, even in the PSL, there is a coach who helped the team to be promoted from ABC Motsepe to the NFD to the PSL. How many of these coaches stayed with the team? Because for every level of competition, the demands are greater, the insights, and many often who coach at that level. And at the top level at Bafana and Banyana, the sport is unforgiving. The sport does not tolerate failures, does not tolerate opportunity. It's not development. At that level, you can't talk, no, we're giving them a chance, we want to develop.
The stakes are high.
Yes. And they want the result or they want the head of the coach.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful of that, but you have to give the coaches a chance. If I can use Desiree as an example. In South Africa, we used to have on the women's as your assistant and tell us when you think Desiree is ready to take over. Then we can part ways and Desiree must take over. And it worked. Then she went back to Holland where she was from. But the template that she left and Desiree followed, even the players that she left with Desiree could immediately perform. Because she qualified for Rio Olympics and she built the team. They were playing nonsense football, Banyana, the kick and rush. And she then said, no, get structured football, get possession football, retain possession, be patient. And she